June 2016, Part A, question number 1. Which statement describes the charge of an electron and the charge of a proton? So in this case, the key word is electrons, proton, and charge. So this is a definition question. So if you know the definition of an electron, you know that it has a negative charge, and you know the definition of a proton, you know that it has a positive charge. So the only possible answer in this case is 4. Number 2. Which subatomic particle are found in the nucleus of an atom, beryllium? So the key word here really is nucleus and subatomic particle. Once we know that, it doesn't matter which element it is. So the only two possible, this is a definition, it's a definition of nucleus, and nucleus include only neutrons and protons. So the only possible answer here is 3. The element in period 4 on the periodic table are arranged in order of increasing order. So we are looking here is the arrangement of period 4. So if we look at period 4, we can see that the elements are arranged in order of increasing number. See that? 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. And that number right there is called the atomic number. So therefore, our answer has to be atomic number. Atomic number. Which phrase describes two forms of solid carbon, diamond and graphite at STP? So what we're looking here is the fact that this is the same element, which is carbon, and we're looking at diamond and graphite. So this is what we call an allotrope. And so if we look at the definition of an allotrope, we see that diamond and graphite itself has different structure because they don't look the same. And because they have different structure, they behave also differently. So therefore, the answer will be different structure and different property. Which element has 6 valence electrons in each of its atoms in the ground state? So here we're looking at 6 valence electron. The word ground state here means that what is shown on the periodic table. So valence electrons is a definition. We're talking about the electron on the outermost shell. So how do we know? So if we look at the periodic table, we can see that this number right here, the very last number, 2-4, the 4 is the valence electron. So if we look at this, we can see that group 1 has 1 valence electron, group 2 has 2 valence electrons, group 17 has 7 valence electrons, so group 16 here will have the required valence electron at the end, which is 6. And of these, we can see that SE is the only possible answer. What is the chemical name for H2SO3? So H2SO3 is an acid. So we're going to go to the common table, table K, to look at the acid. And we can see that H2SO3 here is shown right here. And that is called sulfuric acid. So therefore, the answer is 2. Question 7. Which substance is most soluble in water? The key word here is solubility in water. So what we're going to take a look at is table F. And in table F, we want to see that the first column and the fourth column is soluble, and the second and the third column is insoluble. So we're going to take a look and identify which one is soluble. The best way to do it is to go and take a look at those that will be no exception. Okay. So let's at this NH. So NH4 here. NH4 here has no exception, and that is NH4. This is the answer, but I want to go over the rest of the answer choice and show you why that is not the answer. In the second one, CuOH. So OH here is shown on here, but as you can see, OH is insoluble except when it's combined with group 1, part of group 2, and ammonia, and none of these. Cu is not group 1 or group 2, so that could be it. In the third answer choice, we see that the AgSO4. So if we look at SO4, we can see that SO4 here is soluble except when it's combined with Ag, Ca, Sr, Da, and Pb, and of course right there Ag. So therefore it can be soluble. And finally we look at CaCO3, And with CaCO3, we can see that CO3 is insoluble unless it combines with group 1 or ammonia and ammonium. And in this case, Ca is not either one. So therefore, it cannot be the correct answer either. So the answer is 1. Question number 8, which type of bonding is present in a sample of an element that is malleable? This is a definition of malleability. And the word malleable means to be able to bend without breaking it. And so the only thing that we learned that was malleable are metals. And so metal will have a metallic bond. Okay. Which atom has the greatest attraction for the electron in the chemical bond? So the word greatest attraction is a definition for electronegativity. So we want to look at table S and look under the column electronegativity. So we want to look at this one right here. And so we're going to look at each one of them, and the greater the electronegativity, the greater the attraction is. So hydrogen here has a 2.2. And oxygen has a 3.4, and silicon has a 1.9, and sulfur has a 2.6. So of these, oxygen has the highest electronegativity. Which type of reaction involves the transfer of electrons? So now we have to know what each of these are. First of all, whether or not it is a reaction, an alpha reaction, and therefore what they do. So alpha decay is a nuclear reaction. It does not involve transfer of electron. Double replacement is where you have two compounds interchanging place with one another, but it's really not talking about electron transfer here. Neutralization is when we are talking about an acid-base situation. And finally, oxidation reduction. Now, oxidation reduction, remember by definition, is the transfer of electrons in a chemical reaction. So this right here would tell you that this is the type of chemical reaction we're looking for.